Hello and welcome back to my channel, Checks Captures Threats. In today's episode, episode 34 of the chess guide, we'll be going over candidate moves. So, in today's episode, we're going to go over a few things. We've got 4 openings like normal. So, we've got the London system, the new one we've been going over, the Queen's Gambit, the French, and the Nimzo. Now, we're going to be going over what candidate moves are. And then we're going to do it in a quiz style where I'm going to give you a chance to pause the video and I'm going to list the top 3 best moves in the position. So, what is a candidate move? A candidate move is one of the best positions, the best moves you can make on the board. So, a candidate move is not, trying to attack a piece, it's not trying to positionalize, it is probably trying to find the best move on the board. It's as simple as that. So what you do is candidate moves is you kind of list a few moves that you think are, a candidate to be the best. So that's why it's got the name of candidate moves. Now there is a book, how to reassess your chess, stuff like that. Those really help as well because they kind of test you on this sort of thing. So I'm only giving you 4 examples here. They probably have games you could go over and you can use you tally the points up, for example, there. So here we'll go over this first one in the London system. So a normal position with the pyramid here, with the bishop, and just the queen is on c2 due to this here. Their last move for black was this rook to c8. Now, this move here puts them a point down. So you can pause the video. I'm gonna give you about 10-15 seconds as well, just to find here what you think the top 3 moves are in this position. So I'll let you do that now. Okay, so hopefully you've had time thinking about this. Now, for the top 3 moves here, we have got, if you've got knight to e5, this is correct. This is the best move because it's attacking this knight here and it's attacking this bishop. So obviously you've got that, and there is now no pin onto the queen, so that's why you're getting active. Very aggressive move. This would put you 1 point up. Now if you did find the other 2 moves, there is a move here, c4. This is going to be putting you about 0.7, 0.8 points up. Very good still, obviously. And this is probably, you do not want to take, you're kind of hoping that they would take you in this position because you'd have a very nice knight. Or even bishop. And the last but not least, if you did find b4, that is also correct. Now this is due to, obviously, having this very good push. If you're able to, if I just show you this sort of idea here, if you're able to get that sort of idea, that'd be very good, in that position. Okay, so we understand now what we mean, hopefully, by candidate moves. Now, in this position, this is coming from the Queen's Gambit, and black has played a Nimzo-like style, obviously with this bishop here. That's the last move. The bishop coming to, this bishop coming to a6. Now, the reason for this obviously would be attacking this pawn. So, in this position, what are the candidate moves on the whole board here? What are the candidate positions? Okay, if you had found the top 3 here of the first one being b3, quite a simple idea here. This would put you just 0.3, 0.4 up. So we're just staying even here. Now this is due to obviously protecting this pawn. If you also said c takes d5, that is also correct, obviously, because this can be captured. And in the long run, this is alright. This puts you about half a point up even. And last but not least, if you did also find a good move of queen a4 here, that is also correct. I like this move here because obviously you're attacking this bishop and you're still protecting here. This would put you about 0.3 up. Okay. Now, we're out of the white openings. Now on the black here, this is the French defense. Now in this position, there are really 2 top moves, and there is probably one other that puts you still a little bit losing, but still, enough to be in the fight. So again, what are the candidate moves in this position? Okay, so if you had found the top 3 moves of here, C takes d4. Now this is the top mainly for a few reasons, because obviously at the minute you have quite a difficult attack to deal with here, and this would be simplifying it off. Yes, it may open this queen here, but this leads to many disasters with either stuff like this and also the big threat of knight to b4. So this puts you at really big pressure and most likely stuck trading pieces off, or even a pin in this scenario. So here is that one. Now that actually puts you about a point up. Now the other ones here, that is really the only move on the board, but you can play c4. This puts you a little bit up, only very little, but obviously forcing the bishop to either capture here, which would open the rook very nicely, or having to go back, which also is not very nice for them either. So this would put you about 0.1, 0.2 up. So you're still winning as black. That's quite good. It's normally you're always losing towards the opening. So every little bit there is good. And last but not least, this is technically losing still at the minute for black. But a move like rook to c8, in my opinion, is very what we can call a human move. As the engine sometimes, it sees very deep into a game. They pull out some random, positional moves. But this is a very human move, would say, because obviously in line with the queen, and after these captures happen, we're facing the queen in this scenario. So hopefully now you're understanding what the term candidate moves are. We're now on to the last example here. So again, as black, now every move here is technically winning, so this is good. Now this is from the Nimzo Indian. If it looks this a little bit more into the middle game, this is because we had this exchange, so we got the bishop here and they did this capture like this, like so, and then they played their rook to c1. So in this position, what are the 3 candidate moves that black will be able to play? Okay, so hopefully you've had time to figure that out. Now the best one in this position is c4. Now the reason c4, attacking the queen. And this makes the queen, obviously, being white, you wouldn't really want to put your queen into f5. This leads to many trouble, and this also gives you a very nice move of knight to e4 in the coming future. Okay, the next move here as well is a little bit different, knight a5. Now, this is a particularly weird move. Now, the reason because of this, it's positional. So, like how we've gone over in the last few episodes here, how this move will really nicely get into an outpost of c4. So just to show you, if you move the rook here, now this cannot be taken, as that is just a very nice position, can attack here, attacking the bishop, and is still putting stuff on into the center. Okay, and the move that puts us still even, but is alright, is also knight e4. So it's because it's not an outpost, and soon all they've got to do is move this knight and then push the pawn, I would say. And also here it doesn't attack too much. We'd be able to trade probably, but it's not the best bishop and it's quite a good knight, so we wouldn't want to do that anyway. Okay, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you understand how candidate moves work. Now you always want to do this in especially a long game. Classical we call it, where you play like more than half an hour long. If you ever do one of those, always try and find as many candidate moves you can in each position you're in. Also, even if you're in blitz games, online, still try to come up with multiple if you can. If you're running on time, obviously don't worry about it, but still got to try and think about multiple moves. There's never always one way all the time. There's always multiple ways to go through stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. So thank you and bye bye.